Okay, so you're in Astoria and you and Linda are engaged
Yeah,
and you had to spend about a year up there.
yep, just a little bit short of a year. I got a early release, I think 30 days or 45 days early, just so I could get enrolled back into college. In other words, semester was starting, and I got uh, close friends with a personnel officer up there. He and I operated, or I helped him operate a swimming safety local pool there in Astoria. So we got to be fairly close. In fact, I borrowed his car, which was strictly against regulation when I ended up hitting the deer on my car.
Oh boy.
Yeah, well, it uh, went up there in the fall of the year, September, October, I think. And then over New Year's, coming back from Portland one night, I hit a deer and demolished the front of my car. So anyhow, it was laid up for a while, and I was able to use his car for a couple of days. He was nice. He was pretty cool. He was also a reserve officer as well, so we were all pretty cool about that. Anyhow, not much else. It was
Did you and Linda see each other over that during that year?
yeah. And when I came back on Christmas time, and I hit the deer, or before I hit the deer, I had 30 days of, or I had 2 weeks leave then, just before Christmas. And I came back, flew down, and then I ended up taking my car back up north.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they frowned on having if you weren't rated, in other words, if you were E3 and below, they didn't permit you to have cars because you didn't have the money to support a car, and it was, just Big Brother taking care of you, so to speak. But anyhow, I had gotten my E4 rating and so forth, so when I came back in December, I got my car and went north with it. So anyhow, I wasn't there more than a month, and I hit a deer. I had a new radiator and a new hood, which I found in a junkyard later. Turned out the hood never got mounted because on the way back to the garage to start working on it and so forth, it slipped off my car and I ran over it. So
That sounds like a car show story, click and clack.
yeah.
Where you just holding on to it on the roof of your car with
Well,
one hand and driving.
If you got a car with no hood, no, the other hood was pretty total, so I had just taken it off. And it rains all the time in Oregon,
Yeah.
and especially Astoria there. So the engine was taking a beating because it was being rained on every day. So when I found this in a junkyard, I said, well, where am I going to get this thing, get it back to where I can work on it? So I thought, well, why don't I just go ahead and put it on there? I didn't have the tools and everything with me, so I said, I'll just take this baling wire and wire it onto the hood brackets. And I thought I had it wired on good enough, but it wasn't.
Evidently not.
it slipped off and clunk, and before I could put the brakes on, I drove right over the top of it. So anyhow, I gave up putting a hood on it by that time, and it was that way until I got back out after we got married.
You drove it back to LA
Ultimately,
without a hood?
oh yeah, well, I had it there without a hood from January until, oh, good grief, it was July, I think, that year. 7 months I did.
Everybody knew who you were.
Oh yeah, no, there was no question about that.
That's funny.
But
Did you like it up there in Astoria?
oh, it was neat. It was a little town that had, people I got to know. It turned out one of the guys in my office, we had 2 officers and 3 enlisted guys in the office. And one of the other enlisted guys, he was from Indiana, he started dating the mayor's daughter. So that's the kind of town, or how big the town was.
Yeah.
And so, as a matter of fact, his name was Sid also.
And what did you do in Astoria for work?
I was a storekeeper.
That's right.
So we worked, Astoria was a mothball fleet base. So all of the docks were loaded with mothballed ships. They were mostly for up there where we were. They were LSTs, that's your landing ship tank. That's the ones you see that drive up on the big ships that drive up on the beach, and the front doors open like a big clamshell.
Like D-Day.
Yeah, yeah. And then they had the floating personnel boats and a number of other landing craft. But as what we ended up doing, our office, is that as the ship would come or go, we would go aboard the ship and remove all of the small pilferable items. In other words, binoculars and sextants and anything that anybody could just walk off with. They weren't too worried about engines and that kind of thing. But anyhow, and then when the ship was put back in service, we would go into the warehouse, locate all of the gear. It was on pallets, and put it on board, back on board the ship, and then secure the hatches and so forth so they couldn't be stolen until it got where it was going. These ships were, a lot of them sold to foreign governments. I mean, we sold a number of personnel ships to Germany. We had a couple of them go into Mexico, and then they were phasing out Astoria and taking other ships and just towing them down the coast to San Francisco, the Bay Area there, where they still do have quite a bit of mothball ships there. Anyhow, that was about it. Got back out of back to Southern California, and
You actually went back to school at Glendale?
yeah, went back to school, got married, went back to school, and did that one whole second year. Got a break for naturally the semester, the year was over in June, and his close friend, again, was our best man and so forth. He had worked in the past summer as a student aide with the Division of Highways, and we had talked, and he'd said, yeah, it'd probably be a good thing. And I went down and checked on that, and unfortunately I didn't check on it soon enough, and they had all the parts finished or filled, but they said they could hire me on as an engineering, just straight on as an engineering aide, but it would be a standard hire. And he said, it's no big deal in engineering, you just go ahead, and if you're going to go back to school, just go ahead and tell us you're going to quit at the end of this summer and go back to school. That's no big deal. But as it turned out,
where did you get that job?
well, I was in Glendale, and so I was with District 7, which included all of the Los Angeles County, basically. It was District 7. And so I said, okay, that sounds fine. He says, great, we'll get you started, and you can start, you get out of school on Friday, you can start that next Monday up in Palmdale. So I, okay. So I figure out I'm gonna have to move up to Palmdale and rent a place for 3 months.
You and Linda were living in an apartment or something
Yeah,
in
we
Glendale?
had a little duplex we were living in, $60 a month duplex in Glendale. Linda was still working at that time, and by that time she was, let's see,
Let's hold
Okay.
let's hold on the whole Linda story. Let's show people where we're at. We're sitting outside. This is our view, the Pacific Ocean between Ensenada and Rosarita in July 2026. Just having a little break from the heat in San Felipe, to be continued.